The redesign of Lexus's best-selling vehicle, the RX, hasn't got a whole lot of rumors or speculation for its 2023 model year redesign. Well, that has changed today. We're over at Spider 7, Japanese scoop site and magazine. They have some new renders of what they're hearing it should look like. And the first thing we're going to do is pull up this render right here. It should look familiar. This part of the vehicle looks very similar to the current RX, but these body lines are very similar to the LF1. Now, the LF1 Limitless concept was supposed to come out, and it never did, and it never will. That was kind of shot down when we were in Plano, Texas. We asked about it, and we didn't get very good news for the LF1. It has been canceled. So don't get your hopes up for an LF1 rear-wheel drive based, more of a performance-based flagship-like crossover. I don't think that vehicle is coming, but this is the closest thing we're going to get, in my opinion. We're going to have lots of different powertrains, which we'll talk about today. This article mentioned some, and we have looks that definitely take from the LF1, or the rumored LQ is what the production version of the LF1 was going to be called. But here we go. It has those strong boomerang headlights, and they say it's going to be kind of an echoing of the angles here on the outside of the Spindle Grille. So Spindle Grille is staying around, but it's going to be a next generation. It's going to look very different. Now, if we look at the back again, these lights are taken from the LF1, these rear taillights. I don't expect them to look exactly like the LF1's taillights. These wheels are taken straight from the LF1 as well. But I think these strong triangular like lights that we saw in the LF1 have a really good chance of making it in some shape or fashion. It's not going to be exactly like the LF1's lights, but I think that overall general design is very likely in this new RX. Now, if we look at the Spindle Grille, it's a little bit new, a little bit old, a little bit different here. It looks kind of a little Gundam-like, which is not a bad thing. They're saying that this part of the grille at the top is going to be paint matched. And this kind of reminds me of the piece on the Toyota Venza. That kind of has its striations in it, but this is going to be paint matched. So it kind of looks similar to the Venza in that regard. And the grille flows into the body line here / hood line, kind of like the LF1 did, if I remember correctly. Now, this bottom portion is going to be just a solid body color as well. And what we see in the grille is, of course, you see some porousness for air to go through. This right here kind of looks like an old RX, like a 2016 to 2019 RX, which was my least favorite Spindle Grille ever. Was this design. So hopefully these plates, these stacked plates, don't make it in the production model. Hopefully they change it, make it maybe a little bit more regal, like the base 2022 NX. The redesigned NX kind of has this unique pattern. So hopefully we get something better than these horizontal plates. I just think it's ugly and it's outdated. I mean, I think this could be very close to production in terms of design. As long as it looks pretty close to the LF1, the hood isn't going to be as long because it's not rear-wheel drive based. The engine's going to be mounted in this horizontally, not longitudinally. Moving away from the image, let's read what Spider 7 is saying about the new RX. Well, they're confirming a plug-in hybrid, which is a no surprise at this point in time. The NX 450h Plus has been confirmed and now officially announced by Lexus at this point in time. Now, let's talk about trademarks. Trademark registration of RX 350h and 450h Plus has already been confirmed. We've never seen an RX 350h. We've only seen an RX 400h and an RX 450h non-plus. And that's the current RX hybrid we have now. V6 with hybrid technology built in, 308 horsepower, around 30 miles per gallon. They're saying the base hybrid, which there could be a lot of hybrids here, guys, a lot, because trademarks have confirmed it. But the base hybrid will be the 350, which should be identical to the NX 350. And before we get into the powertrain spreadsheet, where we go really deep into the powertrains that we're expecting for this new RX, we need to talk about the premiere. They're expecting the premiere of the new RX to be in the first half of 2022, and it is expected to be released in Japan within 2022. I'm expecting it to be announced announced at ToyotaCon or HQ Confidential 2022, which this year it happened in June. Next year expected to happen in June as well. And then the vehicle should be available in about November of 2022. That's really exciting. New NX, new RX, they'll both have very similar powertrains. And now it's time to talk about these new powertrains coming for the RX. For America, we're not going to get this 250. The NX will be though. I expect this 350 to be the base. Now you can always say, Kirk, well, there's RX at 350. So how is this different? Well, the RX 350 has a tried and true 3.5 liter V6. This new 350 has a new 8-speed auto that's been built from the ground up to handle the torque and the power of this new turbo 4-cylinder. And I expect the V6 to be gone from the Lexus RX. That's just what I'm expecting. It hasn't been confirmed, but it would make sense to me. If they're calling the NX 350 with this brand new powertrain, you would think that the next RX 350 would have the exact same powertrain, right? 2.4 liter turbo. This has been confirmed on the NX, 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. I don't expect that to change at all. We don't know miles per gallon on the NX, but maybe mid-20s. 0 to 60 is 6.8 seconds with this powertrain on the NX. On the RX, maybe it's a couple tenths slower because it's a bigger, heavier vehicle. So about 7 seconds, 0 to 60. Now, this 350H is an all-new powertrain for the RX. Would we see it here in America is the question. I'm not quite sure. That is the big question mark. If the NX is getting a 250, a 350, a 350H, and a 450H, which is 4 powertrains, the RX should be getting 4 powertrains as well. But I think we could see 3 hybrid powertrains for the RX. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to get all 3 of those hybrid powertrains. What is confirmed though, if we go to the trademarks, is RX 500H has been confirmed. The filing date, October 2020. And it looks like there was an update on it on July of 2021, so just a few days ago. So this has been trademarked from Lexus, and they typically don't trademark things unless they plan on using it. There are exceptions, but more times than not, especially when it's as specific as RX 500H, probably means it's coming to production. What else is coming to production? Well, Spider 7 confirmed it, but we also have this trademark, the RX 350H. And on Friday, July 16th, status of RX 350H trademark changed to its first extension, just like this July 16th date we saw in the RX 500H. And if we go to our friends over at Lexus Enthusiast, Lexus RX 450H Plus trademarked in Europe. So this trademark's been going around as well. So we have 4 new powertrains, but this 350 designation has already been in the RX lineup before, but it should get this turbo 4-cylinder. So what about the 350H? Well, expect the 350H to be exactly the same as the NX 350H that we're getting here this fall. 239 horsepower, 36 miles per gallon. Well, that's in the NX. So I'm expecting, low, probably 33, 34 miles per gallon in RX, which is nice. It's a nice upgrade, but we're giving up, 80 horsepower or so compared to the RX 450H. 450H Plus, this is going to be the plug-in hybrid, and it will be 99% sure exactly the same as the RAV4 plug-in hybrid and the NX 450H Plus plug-in hybrid with 302 horsepower. Most of that power is on the front wheels, unfortunately, and just a meager amount of horsepower on the rear wheels with just 54 horsepower and 89 pound-feet of torque on those rear wheels. Hopefully they pull a rabbit out of the hat and give us more electrification on the rear wheels of the RX, but I think they would be saving that for the Direct 4 powertrain that will eventually come out for the RX, but I don't think Direct 4 will show its face until like the next F Sport Performance models or F models. That's just my opinion. Would we see a full electric RX? I don't think it's going to happen. They have their own platform for that. So the RZ will get the full electrification while the RX will get plenty of hybrids, plug-in hybrid, and a new turbo 4-cylinder. This 500H is kind of a question mark. These powertrains have already been communicated by Lexus. We know exactly what they're going to be, but this 500H takes a bit of speculation on our part. We've never seen a 500H on an RX. We've seen 500H on the LC and LS, and those have 354 horsepower, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. The issue is those hybrids are rear-wheel drive based, which the RX won't be. unless Lexus and Toyota decide to do something altogether different. But 99.9% sure the RX will continue its front wheel drive lineage and front wheel drive based setup. So they're going to stick this turbo 4-cylinder that we see in the 350, has 275 horsepower. They're going to electrify it, which is going to get us roughly 20% more power out of the setup. And acceleration is going to be brisk. It's going to have more power than this RX 450h Plus. So I expect that full jolt of electrification should accelerate the 450h Plus a little bit quicker to 60. And my guess is than this 500h, but I would be happy, more than happy to be wrong. If the 350 with this setup gets 0 to 60 in 6.8, you add 20% more power, it could be knocking on the doors of this 450h Plus. And fuel economy, my guess would be a little bit worse than the 350h Plus because the turbo 4-cylinder is going to weigh more. That will reduce the fuel economy just slightly, but it will give you more performance. And the 500h could be the first vehicle, if they wanted to be that direct 4 showcase of that new all-wheel drive electric sort of performance hybrid technology, if you follow what I'm saying. So we'll have to see if they want to use 500h as an F-Sport performance model. To me, it would make sense. And lastly, while I have you guys here, with the existing RX, we just talked about how the RX 350L and 450HL are getting the Blackline edition. Well, they're also giving some mild, extraordinarily mild updates to it. You're now able to get fog lamps as a standalone option, and the fog lamps slot right in here. Fog lights have been, well, this is weird. Why are they showing a previous generation RX back here? I don't know, maybe because it has fog lights. That's kind of strange. But this is the new RX, and this actually looks like a 2-row version. So let's see what else they have for images in here. Okay, this is definitely a 3-row, 3-row, 3-row. Okay, so that cover image wasn't indicative of the actual report that they're giving us. So I guess we're going to go back to the report here. The fog lights on the new models go in this slot right here, and the fog lights were taken off as standard from this generation of RX in 2020. The only way you could get fog lights is if you upgraded the headlights and the taillights to the triple beam LED package, which also upgraded your taillights. So now you're able to get it on the RX 350L and 450HL as a standalone option. Which is interesting. I guess maybe enough people complained about it. Yeah, anyways, not really worth talking about longer than I just did. And new available colors added, that Cloudburst Gray, and Iridium, which both of these colors, interestingly enough, I just tested on the new 2021 IS 350 F Sport in this Iridium color. It's gorgeous. And then Cloudburst Gray, which I'm testing at the time of this video right now. I'm going to go out and review the 2022 Lexus IS 500 F Sport Performance in this Cloudburst Gray, which both of them are great colors. I think I like Iridium better. That's just me. I think it's a sharper color. But guys, I'll end it there. Cannot wait for Lexus to debut a new generation of its best-selling model, the RX. If they can really hit it out of the park with next-generation hybrid powertrains, a new turbo 4-cylinder, which I know a lot of you guys and a lot of customers out there are not going to be happy with the ditching of the V6. That's just what I'm expecting. Look, the Tundra is getting rid of the V8. More than likely, it hasn't been confirmed, getting rid of the V8 for the twin turbo V6, like 99.9% sure. The Land Cruiser just ditched the V8. The Land Cruiser ditches the V8. It's a much easier argument that the RX would drop its V6, right? But guys, I will end it there. I'll see you in the comments below. Smash the like button for Lexus new RX. Make sure you subscribe for more Lexus news, updates, and reviews like that IS 500 F Sport Performance review will come up September 10th. Stay tuned for that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.